You know that feeling when you have great ideas, but they just don't quite connect? Well, today we're going to dive into the one simple tool that can turn your simple sentences into these really powerful, sophisticated arguments. It's a total game changer.
Okay, so take a look at this. On one side, you've got two separate facts. I love ice cream, I'm lactose intolerant. Kind of choppy, right? But look at the other side. Just add one tiny little word, but, and boom, suddenly you have a story, you've got logic, you've got contrast. That is the exact power we're talking about unlocking today.
So what are these magic words, really? Well, they're called transition words, and their whole job is to organize your thoughts, and this is the crucial part, to show the relationship between them. And listen, this isn't just for stuffy old formal essays. No, this is the secret to sounding way more professional and just smarter, even in your everyday conversations.
All right, so first things first, let's talk about how we go from that choppy, disconnected feeling to something that's really smooth and cohesive.
And here's the key thing to remember. The goal isn't just to glue your ideas together. No, it's about showing the logical relationship between them. Think about it. Is one thing causing another? Is it an opposite idea? Is it an example? Getting that right is what gives your speech real depth and clarity.
Okay, now let's get into the toolkit itself. I want you to think of these words as different kinds of logical bridges. Each one is built for a very specific job, a specific way to connect your ideas. So we're going to break down the most important categories you absolutely need to know.
First up, cause and effect. This one's pretty straightforward. It's all about showing that because of this, that happened. So, for example, the project is over budget. That's our cause. What's the effect? We have to cut costs. And that word hence, that's the bridge that locks that logical connection in place. See how clean that is?
But here's the really important point. Not all these bridges are built the same. I mean, you're probably not going to say, consequently, I have spilled my latte to a friend, right? And on the flip side, you might want something a little stronger than just so in a big, important business presentation. Choosing the right word for the right situation, that's absolutely key.
All right, next up we've got chronology. Now this one is super simple, but honestly it's so powerful. These are the words that put your stories in order. They take what could be just a jumbled list of events and instantly make it organized and so much easier for people to follow along.
And hey, here's a quick pro tip for you. Please don't just say next, and then next, and then next. You'll sound like a robot. Mix it up a little. Try using words like then, or if you want to sound a bit more formal, subsequently. It's such a simple trick, but it makes you sound way more polished and avoids that boring repetition.
Okay, but what happens when your ideas don't really agree with each other? Well, that's where your contrast words are your best friend. You've got two opposing thoughts, right? Like, our software is powerful, but on the other hand, it can be difficult to learn. Words like however or although build that perfect bridge to show both sides of the coin. Oh, and a quick heads up for your writing, a strong word like however often gets a semicolon before it. It's a tiny little detail that makes a huge professional difference.
And then, of course, sometimes you just want to pile on more information, right? To add to a point you're already making. That's where addition words come in. So instead of just saying and, you can really elevate your point with something like additionally. Or if you want to get really formal and sound like you've done your homework, furthermore is your go-to. It tells your listener, hey, I'm building a really solid case here.
Okay, you ready for this? This is kind of the masterclass section. We're going to see how you can chain these different types of bridges together to take one simple little idea and just expand it into a full, compelling argument right on the spot.
So we're going to start with a really simple general statement. It's a fine sentence, nothing wrong with it, but it's a little basic. In general, our meetings are very productive. Okay, now let's start building on that.
First thing we do, we're going to add some nuance using a contrast word. So yeah, they're productive. However, they usually run over time. See that? Instantly, our point is more interesting, it's more realistic.
Now you can't just make a claim like that without backing it up, right? It's pretty weak. So let's build a bridge to some actual proof. For example, is one of the most powerful phrases in the entire English language, I'm telling you. So now we say, for example, today's meeting went 17 minutes over. Bam! Now our problem isn't abstract anymore. It has a number.
But so what? Why does that 17 minutes even matter? We need to show the consequences, so let's build a cause and effect bridge. As a result, I was late for a client meeting. Ah, okay, now we're talking. Now this argument has real-world stakes.
And hey, why stop there? Let's add one more layer just to show the full impact. We'll use an addition word to stack on another consequence. Additionally,
I had to work through lunch to catch up. Wow. Do you see what just happened there?
I mean, let's just pause for a second and appreciate what we just did. We went from a simple little sentence, meetings are productive, to a detailed, evidence-based argument about a real problem with serious consequences. And we did the whole thing just by linking our ideas with a few powerful little words. That is what I'm talking about. That's the power here.
So look, at the end of the day, mastering these transition words isn't about sounding fancy or using big words for no reason. It's really a professional superpower. It lets you think more clearly and communicate with so much more impact.
And you want to know the best part? We've only scratched the surface. There are over 50 of these words out there just waiting for you. You now have this massive toolkit you can pull from for any situation, casual, formal, you name it.
So let's just recap what this new superpower actually gives you. 1. You can organize your thoughts like on the fly. 2. You can build arguments that are so much stronger and way more persuasive. 3. You're going to sound more advanced and professional instantly. And 4, like we just saw, you can take one tiny idea and expand it into a full-blown intelligent talking point.
Look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is a practical tool you can start using literally the second this is over. So my question for you is pretty simple. What's the first idea you are going to take and expand using these logical bridges? Give it some thought.